What's happening, people? We're back here once again on CubCamTV for this, another edition of CubReacts. Apologies, there's no green screen this time around. I literally was in the process of actually trying to get an early night. I've got a mad busy day tomorrow. There's going to be loads of stuff to do. However, I was literally in the process of getting ready for bed. And then I saw that this tune had dropped from Chip on GRM Daily, and I thought, you know what, maybe that's one I can catch up with tomorrow. But then I looked at a couple of the comments on the video, and I started to see that this looks like it could well be a Stormzy send, a diss track essentially, which throws all sorts of connotations out there. Obviously, Stormzy pretty much overall won the war with Wiley towards the, I think it was around the end of last year that took place. And then following that as well, obviously Chip has never really been defeated in a clash scenario, and we've also seen those two work together, so this could get very juicy indeed. Obviously, with this channel, what we like to do is do extensive breakdowns, so there'll be a lot of pausing in this video. I'm going to try and decipher as many of the bars in this one as possible to see if it is actually a diss or if it's just a few things the comments are saying, but it has dropped out of the blue. The way the video shot does kind of indicate apparently that this is exactly the sort of video that would be seen as a send, so it's going to be very interesting to see as we break it down. So bear in mind, this video will have a lot of pauses all the way through, and obviously we've got to avoid copyright as well. If you're not already subscribed, please do make sure you are hitting that subscribe button at the bottom of the page. Apologies, this one looks a little bit rushed because it is a little bit rushed. I wanted to jump on it as soon as I could, so we are now live. Literally, my computer was off, lights were all off, everything, camera was charging, so yeah, we're running pretty much immediately into this one. So yeah, let's crack on. Should be fun. Right then. Mixtape coming soon. This should be very interesting. I'm keen to see what Chip's up to music-wise. The only thing I've heard from him is that Dizzy Rascal collab, which is, it's okay. Chip's the highlight on it, but I want to see Chip on a mixtape again, to be honest with you. We channeling like 2002 50 Cent. Is that what we're doing? I'm with it. I'm with it. Do you know what this instrumental reminds me of right at the back? It reminds me of almost like old school URL and King of the Dot intros for clashes. So I feel it's very well placed. I don't know if that's been done on purpose, but even this, they're filming outside a shell garage. Like, it's looking a bit war-y to me. All right, let's kick off. I'm excited. Ooh. I wanted to get that pause in because obviously you have to pause on a regular basis. Otherwise, they get flagged for copyright and it's long, and I want to make sure this gets up straight away. So, let's go, Chip. Let's see what you got to say.
Look, I know where you live too, but that is not the point of this. Pull out, catch me lacking, plan failed, there's no avoiding this. Don't know what you heard about Essex, but it's calm, dog. And they ain't used to black people screaming down the car park. So let me ask you this, Mr.
Is that a reference to the Vossybot video? Because that's all filmed in car parks, isn't it? This is going to be interesting. You know what it is? I'm listening to this now after seeing those comments, thinking that this is, I'm looking for stuff that would make it a send, and he's already saying you. So it's clearly quite direct already.
Road man, cause you don't get the program. It seems like you wanna lose it all. If my niggas pull up at your gate, screaming, shouting down the place, who the fuck you think your neighbor's gonna call? Picky choosy gangster, don't know why you think you're so hard.
This is interesting because there's quite a lot of subliminal sending going on by the sounds of things. This isn't like out and out name calling, and to be honest, Chip's quite good at that. He's quite good at doing subliminal stuff. So I'm waiting for a singular thing that kind of makes it very clear this is what he's talking about.
Millionaire does the ride outs in his own car, Lamborghini truck, nice one, reverse and go yard. For all the indirects you hear, I hope you go to all the yards. The niggas you're with ain't from your bits, so what's...
So he's already said he's doing like indirects or whatever, so I'm assuming a couple of these are... There may be a couple of stray bullets, maybe? Oh, this is interesting, man. The war gets me excited, man.
Now you got outsiders in your ship, soon to sink them. If you know what's good for your life, just de-link them and stick with Ed Sheeran. He gonna tell you about Chip's pen.
That's the confirmation for me, man. I mean, how many times have we seen Ed Sheeran and Stormzy collaborate? And I have no qualm with it, by the way. I'm quite fond of Ed Sheeran. I quite like what he does. But this is interesting because he's just gone, look, go and ask Ed Sheeran how good I am. Like, is there another UK artist that collaborates with Ed Sheeran as much? Don't think it is. I think that's what we're doing.
On the day that people marching out, cause Black Lives Matter, you're trying to slide out. I said your verse was like, what's the mouth? What's wrong? Sent you my address out. 2 days later, trying to pull up with your tugs. What type of packet is you want? Gave you...
actually happened, then that's a bit of a madness, but this is interesting, man. This is very interesting. I don't know if Chip's kind of, if he's kind of, what's the word? If he's trying to like make things seem bigger than they are, or kind of over-exaggerating on scenario, embellish, that's the word. But if that's happened, that's mad.
You had a chance to spin me on the tune beside me. You objected, I said cool and God bless and kept it moving. But it seems you won't be satisfied unless you see a shooting. Can you believe this is the same boy that does the gospel music?
I mean, Gang Signs and Prayers, half of it, or not half of it, there's lots of gospel tunes on Gang Signs and Prayers, and Stormzy has come out numerous times and said that's part of what he likes to do when he's building an album, which is fair enough. It does add a lot to the album kind of layout, but then what he's saying there, like, you're getting involved in all this kind of thuggery or whatever, and you're the guy that does gospel music as well, it's a bit of a slap.
Lord, he was broken and you fixed him. Can you save him once again? And tell every gangster with him they can't save him from this pen.
Yeah, that's definitely a reference to Gang Signs and Prayers, man. Every gangster with him, obviously talking about gospel music. I think at this point it's pretty clear. And I'm not trying to incite anything. Don't get me wrong. I don't normally do this sort of video. Although it's the first time there's been sort of clash notions that I've known about, or at least seen, or read comments on. It's exciting.
It's about goats and kings. This is not about ends, but just in case you all forgot, it's Northside. Goat means the greatest of all time. To me, that's Jay-Z. I see you trying to play him down in interviews. You crazy?
We've all seen the Stormzy interview. I think it's on Jonathan Ross or something like this. It's on one of the chat shows where he comes out and said, yeah, Jay-Z could have been on one of the tunes, but I didn't think it would work. So again, he's saying like you're trying to play that down. Jay-Z's the GOAT realistically. I mean, Jay-Z is one of the best of all time. There's no getting away from that. Again, it's another slap.
Okay, you got money now, but still you got no wave, B. Me, I thought she broke your heart. I know it was ways, G. King just means the ruler of an independent land, so why you so offended? Cause you're not a king to me, fam, when you ain't done hard.
Oh, that's again, obviously heavy as the head that wears the crown, obviously referencing being the king of grime, and he said that numerous times that he is the king of grime. It's interesting because we've never seen Chip get genuinely defeated over a clash sort of scenario, and obviously Stormzy's come out of the first big war that we've known he's done with Wiley, seen primarily as the victor. However, Chip, people have been calling for Stormzy versus Chip because it's almost like the immovable object meets like the incredible force, you know, and I think this could get spicy.
After work or inherited that shit from right above. So maybe you just say it cause it works, or maybe cause you isn't on your world tour and you can't take the fame, you're just offline and at your home board.
Oh, that's a gut punch. Because Stormzy did announce he was doing a world tour, I think, or did that happen? But yeah, he's saying obviously, yeah, you're annoyed that you're not on your world tour, so you're just getting bored at home online, trying to like spark things up or whatever. It's interesting. Look at that face that Chip's got on there. He's going, I know what I'm starting here. Oh, bro, this is gonna be crazy.
Cupid boy, Stormzy, you shouldn't be pulling up at no doors, but when my grab the...
I mean, he just said the word Stormzy. You shouldn't be pulling up at no doors. It's clearly... At this point, I was kind of in my head going, am I being a bit of a dickhead here, assuming things? But he's just said the guy's name, like it's very, very clear.
Kitchen, you
the war's on!
Trying to go forward and so forth. All of this just because of ways, and I don't know. I can't lie, used to think he's safe, but I don't know. Damn. Is he a driller or a gangster rapper? I don't know. He said use his pen to skeng, but now he's pulling up at homes.
Ooh, he did say that. Went from pen to, he went and used his pen to skeng. Obviously, he's got the tunes called Sounds of the Skeng. Is it Sounds of the Skeng? Mr. Skeng, sorry, Mr. Skeng. Chip's kind of slapping it, you know, I won't lie. He's kind of, he's digging as well. He's not just touching on really, like, boring surface topics. He is, and this is the difference between clashing Wiley and clashing a Chip. He will come with something a bit more intricate, something a little bit more subtle, kind of noting on points that people know about but aren't necessarily entirely in the know about. So what it does, it pushes the kind of public opinion onto his side, because he's kind of going, well, this is kind of what happened, and makes it, it may be a bigger deal than it is. We don't know. However, the only kind of voice we currently have on a lot of these topics is Chip talking about it. So it's clever to come out first. I don't know if Stormzy will reply. I'm assuming he's going to be in a position to reply whenever he wants, but this could get very, very juicy over the next few days.
Niggas is emotional, you're not my ex, miss me. Anybody coming to take my life's coming with me. I'ma serve you humble pie and teach you about your history. I can't count on one hand how much man have dissed me.
It's a true fact, man, and this is what I'm saying. Like, how many times have we seen Chip get into wars and win every time. The guy is undefeated, and this is the thing. There was the period in Chip's career where he was kind of like a bit of a pop. I don't want to say sellout, but it kind of was what the situation was. He was doing essentially the pop music of the time, which was very different from what he was doing. And then he made his money, and then he came back, and now he's in this position where he's had the best of both worlds. And he's just sharpened the pen to a ridiculous degree. And now every time we see him go, he wins. He slaughters people left, right, and centre. Who did we saw it with Youngin. We saw it with Bugsy. I think he absolutely destroyed Bugsy. Obviously, Bugsy kind of gained a career off it, so Bugsy kind of won in that sense. But if we're talking just clashing, I think Chip's undefeated, and this is where it's gonna get exciting.
Boys, Black Lives Matter, what you saying? Mine don't, let's catch him before he touches my wide. You know I'm cold, right today, March tomorrow, it's confusing.
I've got to say as well, the flow patterns he's using on this and the choice of instrumental are working really, really well. As I said, it reminds me of sort of old school Clash intros over on stuff like URL and KOTD from back in the day. But what we're hearing, the way he's using different sort of flow patterns, it's almost that itself is almost like a send to Stormzy, kind of saying, look, you're the king of grime, but I can send for you on this. You sent for Wiley over a drill tune. Like, there's a subliminal there, I think.
This rate is like I'm
or I could be completely making that up. We don't know.
Black and he's black, but in a way darker place. Fake ass activists, stop it. You're hardly Tupac. Jesus didn't die to save us all for you to do that. Said you're gonna finish me bar for bar on the world stage, but when it's sticky, I'm the blue tack or the super.
It's true as well, bro. It's literally what I just said. Chip doesn't lose. It's going to be very interesting to see whether Stormzy actually replies to this as well, because I think with Wiley, he kind of knew he could beat Wiley. I don't know if he can beat Chip. He probably can. We've seen him kind of pull stuff out the bag before, but we haven't seen Chip lose, and that's the interesting thing. Chip's a veteran at this sort of thing now. He's still young as well. He's a young veteran of the game. It's crazy.
Glue. You heard I got tunes for you, then trust me, that was super true. Pulling out with strangers, boy, it's just between me and you. I said on here this when my bro gets home, I pray don't do time.
You know the crazy thing about that as well is if that actually happened and something's happened behind the scenes that we as the public don't know about, then there's like fair reason to start this sort of situation. Obviously, you don't want it to escalate beyond clash dubs or whatever, and it sounds like it may have come from somewhere that isn't this, but I think Chip's done a clever thing with it. He's kind of gone, okay, there's a situation here, I'm going to pull out my Hadouken, my special move, here comes the send, but on a random evening in the middle of the start of October. No one knew this was coming. I didn't know of anyone that knew this was coming. Literally dropped out of the blue. There was no premiere announced on GRM Daily for something that was happening unless I completely missed it. So, and I checked the YouTube subscriptions regularly. I didn't see anything about this until I was literally getting it, like, about to go to bed. So it's crazy, man.
Again, what did you want him to do to you when he's on license for a napping? What was you gonna pop smoke me if I was lacking? Every year a new.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke, man. Like, just on a side topic here, like, I can safely say I probably wasn't as like vocal about obviously saying rest in peace with Pop Smoke when it happened, because I hadn't really listened to him. It hadn't really been someone that I'd taken in, but having taken in his catalogue in recent times, I've got to say, on video, literally, rest in peace Pop Smoke. It's very, very sad, man. Very sad.
Judas, now it's you imagine. Seize up, cool, calm, collective, not erratic. Know your role, know your.
Seize up, cool, calm, collected, not erratic. That's just fire wordplay, man. That's what Chip is very, very good at, saying cool things well. I don't think there's any extra entendre there, but obviously you throw your C's up or whatever. There's the kind of Crip association to that. Again, I'm not completely clued up, but I'm assuming there's a reference there somewhere. And then obviously saying when Chip's performing, you throw your C's up. He said that before, I think. And then obviously cool, calm, collected, never erratic, which is true. He is always very cool, calm, and collected. He's very precise with the shots he fires.
Lane, furthermore, stay in your place. They could have done a Gucci Mane if we was ever in the States. I would rather fill a page than tell my nigga fill his gauge. Cause trust me, I prefer it when he's here. Don't want him in a cage. Imagine me falling out.
Again, I think that's kind of what I just said on it as well. He kind of doesn't want it to go into something that it doesn't need to be. He's just here kind of talking about, let's just do this on wax, like it's the best way to kind of solve this or whatever. Now obviously there may be other things going on, but I think you should avoid violence if you can in these scenarios, and I think Chip's done a good thing here. I say a good thing. He's just sent for Stormzy. Where this goes, I don't know, but it's going to be interesting.
Rappers sharing their addresses. I could name 3 in-betweeners that would sure be stressing. Finish who? On what mic? I got Mike stressing. Birthplace, Sheraton, Crescent. Kings get beheaded.
What a closer as well. Literally going, this is where I'm at. This is the location. Kings get beheaded. Bang. Obviously talking about Stormzy saying he's the king of grime. This is crazy, man. The war's commencing. I think he's done quite a clever thing releasing this in the middle of the week, unannounced. Whether Stormzy knows about it or not, I'm sure he's probably got the phone call by now. This is all looking crazy. I won't lie, my Twitter feed is literally lighting up with this sort of stuff. It's looking crazy, man. It's looking crazy. I'm excited. I hope people enjoy this breakdown as well. Obviously, there may be a few bars that I've missed, so apologies if I did. I'm literally scatting out trying to get this one done last minute. Out to everyone that has watched this one, remember you can catch me over on Breakfast with Kovu in the morning, 7 till 10 in the AM. I will be talking about this a little bit more, and if there are any developments on it there, you can listen via the Trickstar radio app. Do get involved. Right then, people, it's been a very enjoyable last minute thing. Do subscribe to the channel, of course, youtube.com/CubCamTV. Get involved, and we shall see you next time, hopefully with another war report. Oh yes.